Hi guys, Bon here. Today we are going to be talking about what you might not know about American Airlines. We are going to be going over its financials and then we are going to be comparing it to other airlines to see how they compare and if they are really the best choice to invest in. Okay, so let's go. So the main reason that I'm making this video right now is because I keep seeing that American Airlines, like other airlines, they are going up so much. But I know that not everyone who buys into the American Airlines stocks know what is currently going on with them or even really cares. All they really care about is that they go in at a low price, they wait for it to rally, and then they sell it off at the high point. That is what most short-term investors and millennials are doing right now on Robinhood and on other trading apps that you can trade just from your phone. And then yesterday, I come across this article. Heartbreaking story of rookie trader who racked up over $700,000 in debt. Finance isn't worth losing your life. So the story is that Bill Brewster wrote on his Twitter page saying that my cousin-in-law was interested in investing. He opened a Robinhood account and he seemed to be enjoying the market, as many of us do or have done. He got interested in options. He believed he had no margin selected on his account, so he began buying and selling options. Fast forward to some time this past week, his account showed him owing $700,000 plus. How does a 20-year-old with no income get access to that kind of leverage and exposure? The emotional stress from the exposure caused him to take his own life. I don't feel right sharing this, but I also don't feel right keeping it from the world. Then he goes on to warn that, but here's the truth, and please pay attention to this if you're young. The market are bananas right now. It's not the time for amateurs. Really pay attention to position sizing. Stay away from exotic instruments like options and futures. These are the times Buffett talks about being more careful because others aren't. So that story got a lot of attention because some 20-year-old kid just wanted to get exposure to investing. So then he started a Robinhood trading account, not knowing what he was doing. And then he ended up with over $700,000 in debt. So that's why I want to make this video, in the hopes that you kind of understand what is currently going on with American Airlines so that you do not lose all of your life savings in it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so today is June 15th in 2020, and American Airlines is currently at $16.90. At the beginning of the day, it was down to $15.39. But as the day progressed, it started climbing up until it was positive at some point. But then now it's dropped down. What I want to talk about is the financials. Okay? So let's look at the American Airlines financials. There are a few key things that I want to look at to see how they're doing. Right? So first off is total revenue. What I'm really looking here is trends. Is it improving? Is it growing? So as you guys can see here, from 2016 to 2019, it is growing. 40 billion, 42 billion, 44, 45. And that's the first part. And the second part is the cost of revenue. The cost of revenue, is it staying the same or is it increasing? And if it is increasing, then how much is it increasing by? You can see that it is increasing by 10%-ish. This gross profit is actually more important than this total revenue and cost of revenue. And you can see that the gross profit is actually decreasing. 12 billion to 11 billion to 10 billion to 10 billion. And obviously this year is just horrible and they haven't had anything. So that was the gross profit. Now let's look at the net income. So as you can see, the net income is 2.6 down to 1.9 billion, down to 1.4, up to 1.6-ish. So what that tells me is that they don't have a concrete plan to really increase their revenue, right? To really increase their net income. It seems to me that they're just relying on random demands. Right? Some years are better than others, so some years positive, but then if the year is not good, then they're negative. But then you might be saying that this is an airline, right? Of course they rely on demands, and demand changes every year. Well, let's compare it to another airline. Let's compare it to United Airlines. Okay, United Airlines is actually very similar to American Airlines, but let's see their books. So if we look at their financials, we can see that, of course, total revenue is increasing, like American Airlines. The cost of revenue is also increasing. Cost of revenue is increasing. Now, let's look at gross profit. The gross profit for United Airlines is actually increasing. It had a bad year 2016, but it was increasing here and increasing here. Maybe they just had a very bad year in 2017, but since then they have been growing and they have passed 2016. And net income is increasing by a good amount. There was like almost 50% increase in net income last year, 2019. So this is just to give you guys a comparison that American Airlines do have some problems. They do have some troubles. Oh yeah, and before we continue, please hit the like button for me. It would help me out tremendously. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and let's continue. So after that, let's look at some statistics. This is at the statistics page on their Yahoo Finance, American Airlines. So as we can see here, their profit margins right now as of March 31st is negative 1.69%. If we compare that to United Airlines, we can see that United Airlines is a positive 2.4%. Obviously, everyone is struggling, but some airlines are struggling more than others. And American Airlines is one of those airlines. And so I just want you guys to be aware of what is currently going on. Now let's look at their revenue. Right? Their trailing 12-month revenue is $43 billion. Quarterly revenue growth year over year is negative 19%. So they are 20% less than they were the year before. And this is first quarter. Q2 is going to be a whole lot worse. And they already mentioned it. Their balance sheets. Currently, their total cash is $3.5 billion. However, American Airlines' biggest problem is their total debt. This is as of their most recent quarter. They have a total debt of $34 billion. $34 billion. Okay? That is almost 10 times their total amount of cash. And if we go to another article, it says that the hitch with American is its large and growing debt load, expected to top $40 billion by the end of 2020. Okay? The airline seems to have plenty of liquidity to manage the operations, but it may need revenue to rebound much more sharply to handle the interest payments on its debts and avoid breaching debt covenants. So that means that they will probably hit $40 billion in debt by the end of the year. And it is very unlikely that they will grow by the end of the year. All that they can hope for is that they try to get maybe 50% of their last year's customers back. Okay? Maybe 50, but it's highly unlikely because currently they are only at 16% capacity. Okay? And if we compare the balance sheets of American Airlines to United Airlines, we can see that United Airlines' its total cash is $5.2 billion, and its total debt is $23.4 billion. More than 10 billion less debt than American Airlines. And the ratio from cash to debt is 1/5. Around 4.5 times the debt that they has cash. Now let's talk about trading information, because that is the type of information that is related to you and what you guys should be expecting. So first off, their beta. Their beta is 1.71, and beta is how volatile the stock can get. So 1.71 is decently volatile. Their 50-day moving average is $11.82. And 200-day moving average is $19. Now let's talk about shares. These are the shares informations, shares outstanding, the floating. The main thing that I want to focus on here is the short of shares outstanding, as of May 29th, 2020. So as of May 29th, which is about 2 weeks ago, a little bit over 2 weeks ago, 30% of investors are shorting the stock. That means that 30% of investors think that the stock is going to go down. 30%. That's a very, very high number. Right? And if you want to compare it to someone, you should compare it to Tesla. Tesla is so crazy. No one really knows the exact valuation, the exact price of where the stock could be, because the stock moves from $600 per share to $900 per share within a few weeks. So it is crazy. But currently, right now, as of May 29th, Only 8%, 8.6% of people are shorting the Tesla stock. 8.6%. That is how American Airlines compared to Tesla. Very, very crazy. Another very important piece of information is that the company reiterated Friday that it plans to take $4.75 billion in government loans under the CARES Act and will issue stock warrants to the U.S. Treasury for 38 million shares, in addition to the 13.7 million warrants already planned. Altogether, that will dilute Americans' outstanding equity by 12%. 12%. The company also says it would pledge part of its AAA Advantage mileage programs as collateral on the new debt. Basically, they are diluting the shares of American Airlines, and the stock will probably lose 12% of its value because of the dilution. Okay, so that is all for the numbers and the financials. But what about the charts, okay? What about just trending topics? What if you are one of those short-term traders that just go in, buy it when it's low, and sell it when it's high? You don't care about the company, you don't care about the history, you don't care about the data or the debt. Okay? What if you are just one of those people, you want to get the highest amount of income as you can? Okay? Well, then let's look at the charts. So this is a chart for American Airlines. And as you can see, throughout most of the last 2-3 months, it's been around here. Right? Their average is around 11 something, $12. But as you guys can see here, on June 3rd, it started rising up and up. Right? It went from $11.85 to $20.30. At one point, it was $22. And then you guys might be looking at that and say, yes, right? And that is what I want. That is all that I care about. I just want to hit that rally and leave. I don't care about American Airlines. I don't care about anything. I just want to make money. I just want to make money. And for me, I don't really care about American Airlines either. I mean, stock is stock. If you are a short-term trader, then you are only just out for the money. You don't really care if it goes bankrupt or not, as long as you make money. But what if I told you that there was a way that you guys can make more money with less risk? That's crazy, right? Well, you can do exactly that by investing in United Airlines. So if we do a comparison between American Airlines with the United Airlines, so we all know that the airlines go up at the same time, but the question is how much? So as we can see here, within 1 month, 1 month ago, the time when it started trending upwards, on May 15th, United Airlines, on this light blue line, United Airlines has been higher than American Airlines by the good 9%, 9% average. United Airlines has had 89% profit, while American Airlines only has 80% profit. So basically, same industry, very similar company, but United Airlines is actually outperforming American Airlines. All right, well, that's all they have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy that. And if you guys learned something new, or if you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up. I would very, very much appreciate it. And if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of August. So let's do it. I think we can do it. So until next time, please be careful. And please only invest in what you guys can afford to lose. Make sure you guys have emergency money left over. Do not invest everything that you have into the market. So, all right then. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.